What's up, guys? Jaxel here. I'm putting a new video together for Scoreboard Assistant version 10. The previous introduction video I had was for version 0, so it was very out of date. People were watching it and not quite understanding how it works with OBS. So I'm just redoing the video. And so this is where we're at. Alright. So Scoreboard Assistant, as you guys probably know, is a tool to help streamers do their text overlays on top of their stream. So let's load up the program. There we go. And before I go through how the program works, I'm going to show some of the features. So right now, as you can see, it loads up with a default empty scoreboard where you can do things like player 1, player 2, match name, game name, and then hit Control S or click the save button, and then it'll output all that information right here into a XML file. Simple enough. Now, before I go into explaining how that works and how XML files don't work in OBS and you need to actually make a few changes for the program to work in OBS, I'm going to go over features first. Alright, so we're going to click on this arrow on the top right. We do this, you can see a couple of menus, tab items, external services, config options, and of course about. So we're going to look at the add tab items for now. Right now what you're seeing here is the Scoreboard 2P version. There's also a 4P version, a couple of text fields in lower thirds. So let's do that. Let's put some text field down. There you go. And you can see it added a second tab for text fields. There's also one for lower thirds, and there's a question that I often get is, what is the difference between text fields and lower thirds? They look exactly the same. It's text fields. Each of these 4 text fields use their own database, so they all have different information and none of them can be shared. While with the lower thirds, all 4 text fields use a single database, so you can swap text around. That's pretty much it. That's the extent of the differences. You can also drag and drop locations of the tabs to move things around, and then you can also remove tabs. Let's remove these 2 tabs. Okay. Now there's something called image select. This is one I put in for Smash players, but other people use it too. I'm going to make an image select tab called Super Smash Bros. 4. There we go. And it's an important distinction to worry about this database field. Database field is basically where it's going to save in the output folder and where it's going to retrieve information in the input folder. And so if I click add new tab right here, it's going to look for a folder in input for SSB4 to populate existing information. Since that folder doesn't exist, it's not going to have any existing information. Go ahead and click add, and now we have an SSB4 tab. If you go to the output, click save, it's well, it's going to give an error because there was no input folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. I already have a folder called images. It has a whole bunch of images related to Smash Bros. And I'm going to rename that SSB4 because, as I said, that's the database it's looking for. And I'm going to right click here and click reparse folder. And there we go. This is what we got. We've got the ability to select images, and there we go. And going back to that database issue, if we click save, it's not going to give an error this time, and it's going to save all that information to the SSB4 folder. And it's also going to create a nested folder with these 4 files: Toon Link, Zero Suit Samus, Diddy Kong, Luigi. And this will allow me to do things, I'll show that later, where you can have the images on the screen and then simply change it. So if we change that to Marth, there we go, Marth has been updated. That's pretty easy, so let's remove that tab. Alright, what else we got? We also have clocks and timers, a music player. The music player will scrub your music players for music information. It also does Nightbot and Last.fm, and a PC monitor. If you click the external tabs, there's Hitbox, Twitch, Challenge, Twitter, and League of Legends support. Ustream support coming in the future as soon as they release their new API. But let's go over Twitch support for now. Click it. It's at the Twitch tab. Now I've already logged in, so it already has my channel name and token. Let's log out to remove that. There we go. Click login. It's going to pop up that, and then log me into Twitch. Easy enough. And of course you can change the game. You can change the title, see the number of viewers, your peak viewers, run ads, change the length of the ads, have it auto run ads every 30 minutes if you want. It's very nice. Now the game list is currently empty. I can actually right click and get the top 100 games currently being played on Twitch. So let's do that. There you go. And here's a nice list of all the most popular games currently on Twitch. Well, this isn't 100. This is more like 50 or 40. Well, no, it is 50. All right, so it's top 50 games. Whatever. Let's remove this tab, and it's gone. I expect most new people to be interested in the challenge feature. Challenge feature is pretty nice. Load up challenge. I have my API key already stored. When you go to use challenge, you have to go to your account information, click on the developer API link, and it'll give you a API key right on top, and you need to copy that into your API key field. Now I'm doing this on a tournament we had last week. Tournament is already completed. So, alright, so what we got here is pending results, the bracket name, the link of the bracket, the pending upcoming matches, and the results of previous matches. Now there are no pending upcoming matches because the tournament is over. The previous matches, we can see False defeats Keitaro, and then False defeats Keitaro again because it was a double run back grand finals. To increase it to loser 7, False defeats Chaos. False defeats TSB Tokyo. False has been winning a lot, as you can see. And basically with this, you can have it so you have a ticker of recent matches appearing on the bottom of your screen. You can, so anything that's like off screen, when one of your TOs updates the match information, I think I have it set to 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, or maybe 60, I don't remember. We'll see as soon as it fetches. It will fetch to find out, hey, have there been any updated matches, and it'll display it on your ticker. Yeah, 60 seconds. Easy enough. That's challenge. There's also League of Legends support, Twitter support, and Hitbox, but we'll go over that later. And there's some basic config options, which we can go over later as well. Alright, so now we got all that out of the way, we can actually discuss how the program works. Alright, so I said before that by default the program does not actually work immediately with OBS. And that is because by default it outputs all the information, which we have here, to XML files. So my versus screen, as you can see, player 1, player 2, 0 to 0, match name, game name, all in an XML file. Now if you're using XSplit, XSplit can read an XML file perfectly fine. It has a built-in XML reader into their text renderer. The current version of OBS cannot read XML, though I do believe OBS multi-platform, which is coming out later in the year, will be able to read XML. So when that happens, Scoreboard Assistant will naturally work perfectly with OBS. I programmed it all around the future rather than for the past. Got to keep up with the times. But if we go to here and click add text name, there's not going to be some way to parse an XML file. It can only read raw text files. So what we need to do is right click the save button and go to text config. And right now we just want to do player 1, so we'll go to player 1. And what we have here are some options. Now, as I said, by default everything is XML only, which means the text will only get outputted to this XML file. I can also change it to output to an image. So if we do that and then click save, we go back here, and we have a new folder called versus, and it saved the text to images, as you can see right there. Now this is good for XSplit 1 because XSplit 1's text renderer was bad, but you know, Now we're using XSplit 2. Their text render is a lot better. Anyways, but we don't want images. Actually, you know, you could use images. Whoops. And you can have it so that, let's see, add an image. Image 2, browse. Add to the desktop. And then we just add the image. And there we go, the image is right here. Now it's not a very good image because we haven't really formatted it at all. So let's do that. Let's add it a black glow. Let's make the text white. Make it size 24. Add that black glow. And then click save. You know what I forgot to do? In this image properties, check for file changes. There we go. There you go. Now it's right there. And we can put anything we want there. And it'll get updated on the stream. Now images, you really don't want to be using images for this because OBS has a really good text renderer. Why waste it on images? So instead of having it go to images, we can have it go to text file. Let's get rid of these images. We don't need them. And then when we click save, we'll output text files. Not tiles, details. And there we go. So basically it took player 1 and put it in a text file by itself instead of through images. Text from file. There we go. And see, here we go. And as per usual, if we change stuff, click save, and it automatically, very quickly updates the text. And that's simple. That's pretty much how the program works. Now, I do a lot more advanced stuff on my streams. I don't actually use the text renderer or the image outputs on my streams. What I do is I use the XML files, and then I read the XML files into a web page, which I display using CLR browser, and that's how I get the nice animations on my screen. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video because this is supposed to be basics for new people who are interested in figuring out how the program works. Now, we also have, on this tab, there are 2 extra buttons here, one for reset, because it zeroes all the scores out, and the other for copy text. And copy text is important, and I'm going to explain why. We're going to open verses again. And what we have here is we have player 1 versus player 2 in match name, game name. Now let's say this was first round. And we look at this, you'll see there's match first round, match A first round, match B is blank. And this is because I added a parsing system where you can have simple notation. So I'm going to do first round, double pipe, and then click save. And we have here is first round, double pipe first round for match, then match A is before the pipes, and match B is after the pipes. And then for game name, let's call this Ultra Street Fighter 4. Ultra Street Fighter 4. Click save. And now we'll work the same way, separated by the pipes. And you'd be wondering, why is that important? And that is because of our copy text button, which we have right here. And I'm going to edit. And I'm going to say this is the break number 300, which is coming in 2 weeks, versus ampersand. I don't know why I don't have default text set up for this. I should though. And I'm going to keep it font A. B would choose Ultra Street Fighter 4. A would choose USF 4. So let's keep it A. Now when we click the copy button and go here, what I have is the break number 300 USF FR player 1 versus player 2. It makes it very easy to name your files. So that's when I would simply name the file. and I didn't need to do any typing or anything. I just hit a button and Control C, Control V, whatever. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the basics of this program. As you can see, it's very in-depth with lots of features. I see a lot of programs coming out constantly with all these new features. Like, hey, I just added a music scrubber, or I added some clocks so you can put it on your stream, or, you know, scoreboards and all this stuff. And I'm like, my program already does that, you know? And I sell it for a penny. Anyways, peace out, guys.